Hello, Juan Valdez here, and I would like to welcome you to my tutorial on how to grind coffee without a coffee grinder. Now, if you Google this topic, you're going to find several very different methods, from using a hammer to using a screwdriver. There's tons of different things on the internet, but I'm here to tell you the best way to do it is to use a good old-fashioned blender. Now, we have some coffee beans here. Medium Starbuck. Actually, these were taken from the lap sack from my mule Sal today. I was high in the mountains in Colombia and actually picked and roasted these beans, placed them in a Starbucks bag, as you will see, and we're about to grind them freshly. Now, the key is, if you will observe, I have already placed some beans into the blender. If you'll look closely, you'll notice the blender is full about up to the blade. The reason for this is you don't want to grind too many beans at one time, because if you do, the consistency will not be where you want it. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is put the top on the blender. If you don't, you will have coffee grounds everywhere. So we're going to place the top on the blender, and this is where it gets a little tricky. We've got 5 settings and an off switch. Which one do we use? Well, that's where Juan Valdez comes in. Folks, what we're going to do is first we're going to go to the blend setting. You wouldn't think you would, but you do. We're going to blend it. And after about 15 seconds, we're going to turn it off. Now let's look at the consistency we have here. Obviously not what we want. We still have some beans inside that aren't ground at all. What do? We're now going to the liquefy setting, the high speed setting. We're going to chop those babies up. Once again, after about 15 seconds, we're going to turn that baby off. We're going to take the top off, and this is a little trick. This is where it gets a little tricky here. We're going to actually take this up, and we're going to shake it, beat it, and get all the beans that may be stuck to the bottom off the bottom. We're going to place our blender back on, put the top back on, and hit liquefy for another 15 seconds. We're going to turn it off, check our consistency. Folks, we are looking at absolutely 110% perfect, if you can get a shot of that, perfect, fresh, ground coffee. Now I'm going to take this coffee and I'm going to put it in the coffee pot. I'm going to percolate it, get it real hot, and then I'm going to pour me a nice cup of coffee. Sit down, relax, and enjoy it. I advise you to do the same. If you're serious about your coffee, I wouldn't be buying it ground in the store. Get the beans and do it yourself. It's Juan Valdez. This was your coffee tutorial.